Nice. It's the logo. Wow. That was amazing. I really did not... Holy shit. I really did not expect the story to be this fucking good. That surpassed all of my expectations I had. I was fully ready for this story to be like like a 7 out of 10. Right? That was... Damn, dude. That was really fucking good. All the new characters were fantastic. All of them were fantastic. Furry things aside, Wooklamont is an amazing character. Low-key on a stack. She's an amazing character, actually. You know, I was thinking about this last night, or yeah, I think I started thinking about it last night. But like I found making comparisons between Wooklamont and Lise, because they're kind of similar characters as to what purpose they serve in the story, or how they're or like what's their story. I found it very similar, but I found like they were able like they did it so much better. I had not anticipated whatsoever that I would actually cry. I cried twice. I'm actually super surprised. I can't believe it. How do these fuckers keep doing this? How do they keep doing this to me? I was also thinking about this early on, right? I think about halfway maybe. Or no, I think once I got to Alexandria, and I still think this after finishing it, I think this is the best paced story that they have ever done. I think it's the best paced story. There was hardly any low points or points that were a drag, and if there were, it was very little and did not last that long. I can recount to other, like the last 2 expansions, right? Like I can recount Shadowbringers, I can recount Endwalker. Like those, there are low or slow portions of those stories in there that are absolutely a drag, right? But everything else is like so fucking good. I guess the start of the story was slow. Sure, that it was a little slow. But I still don't think it was that bad. Not at all. I don't think it was that bad at all. I think the beginning portion, and like I will admit that the start of it was a bit slow. However, like for me specifically, what was carrying that portion of the story for me was like the new area, the new city, the new graphics. Everything was like everything was like, you know, speaking figuratively, was like watching everything like was like shiny gold. It was like just wow. So but I feel like it just kept getting better. It kept getting better. It kept getting better. It kept getting better, right? And once I got to like, I'd say the halfway point, I guess maybe the halfway point is when Wooklamont is Dawn Servant now. I was very curious where they were gonna go, and once I saw where it was they were gonna go, I was a little concerned that it was gonna be like, I don't know, like way out there, right? Like it's like, holy shit, like what the hell just happened? Like how did we get to here, right? But like, nah, man, it kept it up. It kept it up, dude. It was so good. The world building was so good. All the this isn't exactly the story, but like all the environments were so good. Oh man, what is that zone called? The 5th zone, the one before the last, where it's all electric. Maybe that zone was a bit plain. maybe that zone was a bit plain, but it still had some cool, very, very cool spots, right? Like the tower scenery was cool. The ruins were neat. I guess the main town, right, was cool as well. Also, all of the like little mini towns out in the zones were also amazing. I have to say, were also really fucking good. I loved it. Although I'm not gonna lie, all right. Now this is not really a complaint, but more like a pet peeve of mine. It was a little challenging than usual to read this because of all the fucking names. All of the names, dude, oh my god. Whenever I came across a new one or just any in general, I had to stop and see what it was I was looking at. And it's like, how the fuck do I pronounce this? It was rough. It was rough for me. I'm gonna keep it a $1.50. It was rough for me. But it didn't really hinder my experience with the story at all. If anything, it was more immersive. I'll say that. Like, yeah, I had difficulty pronouncing them, but like it was more immersive though. And all the different types of people and cultures too were really cool, man. Oh, this fight scene was really fucking cool. This is probably the best animated cutscene. This is probably the best fight cutscene in the entire game. This was really fucking cool. Which, by extension, I also will say that this expansion story, 7.0, does have the best, like, cutscenes and animated cutscenes. Which it should, right? It should. Because of the graphics update and all that stuff. It should. It also was able to deliver on pretty cool set pieces, like this fucking train thing. This was really fucking cool. I think this is only the beginning. I think they can only make it better, right? Just as they have from A Realm Reborn to Endwalker, how they were able to make it better. Well, from here onward, they can still make it better, right? For starters, we could cut PlayStation 4 support. We could start with that. I don't know if that would do anything for the animation cutscenes, but you know. Point being, it could still get better in that aspect. And by extension, to that same note, environments can also still get better, right? There are some really cool environments in this. The one that had me in awe was the I forgot the name, the blue forest, the blue forest of all the blue trees, and it's like tall trees, and it's like under. That was really cool, and like I was like just so in awe that they were able to do this, because I'm not kidding. There's no other area in the game that looks like that, and I dare say that it looked like an entirely different game. Like, it was impressive, I have to say it. And again, it can only get better. They can only make more better and visually pleasing environments. Oh man, the music. Okay, the music, when it comes to the story alone, okay, within the confines of the story, I think this expansion has the best music, hands down. So much different stuff, so much, just so many bangers, man. So many. The fucking zone music towards the end, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Same with the last dungeon, I loved it. Same with the final trial, I loved it. The dungeon, the typical dungeon boss music, first and final, or normal and final boss music for the dungeon, were amazing. I loved it too, man. I was always humming to that shit. I don't know, man. Oh god, I'm still shocked that this was this good. I don't know, man. It's like I'm so sure of like having it like a 9 out of 10, but the more I think about it, the more I want to bring it up to a 10 out of 10. I'm not even joking. Oh, another thing that surprised me was how two, not just two, like the fact that they had a trial that you could do with a trust got me by surprise, because I was under the impression that I was so sure that they had said before that they said that they wouldn't do, you wouldn't be able to that they wouldn't do trials with the trust again because it was very hard, it's very difficult to do that. And I was like, they said it not too long ago in some previous live letter. It was something along those lines. And so I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah, Vanoss trial was something special. It was a huge moment. It was building up to that. It was a big surprise. Like, I get it, right? But they went ahead and did 2 of them to be able to do with the trust. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? I'm also glad that you could do it with the trust, because I'm gonna keep it like I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The summoning a Zam crystal was getting tiring in Endwalker. Okay, it was cool in Shadowbringers. It was still cool in Endwalker, but the fact that it kept using it in the patches story every single time kinda lost the bit of specialty that it was. Personally, I like that they did away with that for the 2 trials, and then they brought it back for the very end, and I thought that made it cool again. This is one of the scenes that had me crying. I gotta give it to them. Round of applause. This was amazing. The story was actually freaking amazing. I think I still don't know if I'm content with giving it a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. I don't know. Do I think it's better than Endwalker? Maybe it did not reach the same highs, but I think there were points in the Endwalker story that were kind of a drag and were definitely low. Oh, these are, oh no, they're not. Oh, this is the past. Oh, or not really the past, but like, yeah, because this track, oh my god, I fucking love this track. This was the yeah, it was, yeah, this was the final. Yeah, I loved it. But as I was saying before, I think that Endwalker's story 6.0 compared to 7.0 had lower lows than Dawntrail's, but maybe had higher highs, because Endwalker definitely had fucking segments where it was kind of a fucking drag. It's also, without a doubt, it's much better paced, right? Because it's because of Garlemald, I think. Because we go to Garlemald, and then we go here, then we go to Elpis, and then we go back, and then it's to the end of the universe. While those segments in their own, it's like fine, right? Like, I really like, I love the Garlemald segment, but it's just like it was a fucking a lot to fit in. It was a lot. I think it was a lot to fit in, right? But in here, it's much more clear that this story is separated into 2 halves, right? There's the Rite of Accession, and I guess there's Alexandria after, right? There's part 1 and part 2, right? It's pretty clear. I can't be certain if it's better than, and if Dawntrail's story is better than Endwalker's was. I don't know. I don't know if it's as good too. I would say it's pretty damn close, right? Like, there's recency bias probably happening right now, but like, dude, I feel like it's almost as close. Is it better than Shadowbringer's story? I think it's the same case with Endwalker, where I would say there are definitely higher highs with Shadowbringer's story, but definitely within that expansion story were there moments, portions of the story that were a drag. Okay, the lead up to the the trolley segment up until, you know, where the good shit happens. While you're what part is it? Like Eulmore? No, it's like after Eulmore, when you're trying to get everybody to work together to get to Vautry, is a little bit of a drag. So it's like you can recount these things, but like of like these segments, but I can't with Dawntrail. Like, I can't think of like these big portions or significant portions where it's like, oh my god, this is kind of a drag, you know. Like, I would say the beginning was slow, right? Like I'd say maybe the first 2 areas, I'm not sure. But like the beginning was a little slow, sure, but it's like it's establishing this, you know, it's establishing the whole thing for the expansion. So it's like, I don't think I'd say it's better than Endwalker and Shadowbringers, but I'd say this is 100% the third 1000%. I think this is better than Heavensward, no question. And a lot of this has to do with the pacing of the story that it had. The pacing they had, this is, like I said before, this is the best pacing they have done for an expansion story. Base expansion, right? Base patch 7.0, 6.0, 5.0, blah blah blah, right? Not patches. This is the best that they have done. The pacing of this was phenomenal. I would also say best experience. The experience it was to do the story was also the best in my opinion, because of some other things, like some other small things, like for example, the option, like the option to hide people when you get close to quest NPCs, and once you click on them, everybody disappears. Like, I think that's amazing. That was great. And the fact that up until the very last trial, it's completely solo, and to me that kind of enhances the story immersion for me. So speaking of, yeah, past expansions did not have that, right? Like Shadowbringers, you could do all trust, I think, for the dungeons at least. I'm pretty sure that is where it was introduced, the trusts. God, this track is so fucking good. It's so good. Yeah, I think all the dungeons in Shadowbringers were trustable, right? I'm pretty sure, because that's where the feature was introduced. Endwalker the same, and only for one trial was it able to be trustable. But Dawntrail, everything is trustable except for the very last trial. I think to me that does a lot for a story immersion, and to me it enhances the experience. Where it goes from here, I'm curious what the patches will be. It kind of alluded like the patches were gonna be about like the new people and Alexandria and all that, like how that's gonna play out. That seemed that's kind of what I got from the very end bit there. Is this the track I'm thinking of? It is. This is another phenomenal track. Oh, and I guess it's sort of unrelated to the story, but I still think made good experience were the like the boss designs of the dungeons and trials. Pretty cool. I gotta say, right? Pretty cool. Yeah, it is this track. I love this track. This track is so good. So fucking good. And then theme is smile. When that first happened, I think the first time that song kicked in was when was during Wuklamat's ceremony, right? I'm not gonna lie, I was never expecting something like that to play in this game. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of shocked at first, but I guess I grew to it, right? I kind of grew to it. Now I dig it. And I think that I found it very interesting and I really liked was the fact that you were kind of put in the back seat, because I would say straight up, without a question of doubt, Wuklamat is like the main character of the story of the expansion, 100%. And I actually really dig that we're kind of not the front and center piece of the story like how we were for Endwalker, and same for Shadowbringers. We kind of take a step back. And what really made me like the idea is that one cutscene with Gulu Jaja, where he, I think you have the duty with against him, right? You fight him, which was really cool. Also, the duties were really cool in this too. But after that, you have the cutscene, and he asks you to be her like mentor, right? And I thought about that. I was like, wait, that's really fucking cool. That is a really cool narrative to put you as the player in. I really like that. And I think coming off of like Endwalker and Shadowbringers, that was a very fucking nice switch up. It was really good. Just, man, just so much of this story was so fucking good. I can't believe it, actually. Well, I can and I can't believe it, right? Like, I can, right? Like, hello? Like, these guys made Shadowbringers and Endwalker stories. Like, yeah, they can write. They can make fucking banger stories, of course. But I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to be this good. I was so expecting, so ready for the story for this would be like a 7 out of 10. It's okay, but it's not that good either. Like, it's all right. They delivered, in my opinion, an easy 9 out of 10 story. Easy 9 out of 10. The story was just really that good. I really love this. I really loved it. We won't end. Wait, that's the same lyric from Tomorrow, right? The same ending lyric. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, real fucking good. CBU 3, or I guess they're CS3, right? Now they're CS3. Round of applause for them because they delivered a fucking amazing story. I gotta say, when I wasn't expecting it. Great job.